Scooting down the imposing staircase and out onto the street, Seb stepped out from behind a pillar. "Hello, mate. What are you doing here?" he asked. David jumped out of his skin. "What the fuck? Seb, don't do that." "I want to talk." "About what?" "About us." "What about us?" Seb looked at him. Those 3 little words said it all. He looked to the ground, trying not to show the hurt in his eyes. David walked on down the street, his eyes peeled for a cab. Seb trotted up behind him. "I love you, David Howard." David stopped in his tracks and slowly turned round to face him. "What?" "I love you. But we don't even know each other, barely speak, have never been on a date, have fucked a few times when it's useful to you, and that's it." "I know, but you don't feel the same way, barely notice I'm there, smile your gorgeous smile on everyone else but me, take the piss out of me when it suits, walk past without even noticing. I know. I'm sorry, but I didn't know that I loved you. Well, I do. I always have. From that first moment I saw you crying in your dorm, begging me not to go. How old were you? 7? David looked to the ground, ashamed. He remembered it well. It was the day he'd heard about his mother's death. Seb had helped him, lay with him, held him, rocked him to sleep, been there when no one else had. Seb continued, "I've been trying to speak to you for days. I need to tell you before I go mad for being the only one in the world to know my secret. You, David Howard, are the love of my life. You come into my thoughts every hour of every day. Your voice, your smile, your laughter, your smell, your heavenly body. The energy around you fills me with a joy that surpasses everything I've ever done, felt, known, witnessed." David took a step forward. Seb took one back. "No, I need to say this. I love you. Always have, always will. And I know you don't feel the same, but that's okay because just having you on this planet is enough for me. Just knowing you has been an honor. If I died today, it would be okay because I had you in my life. I lived. It's enough. You just needed to know. That's it." Seb took another step back. "Thank you for being in my life." They stared at each other. David reached out and stroked the side of Seb's face. The tenderness of the moment hung in the air. Seb took a sharp intake of breath. Before he could dream, David felt more. David turned and walked away, hailing a cab. Seb stood alone on the pavement, watching the taxis sail up the road, then turn a corner, out of sight. He'd said it. He was done. Time to leave the gang, leave David, leave London. Time to start afresh. He turned and walked in the opposite direction, tears welling his eyes. "Goodbye, David,"